In my village, they say if you run too fast in the forest at night, the tortoise will find you, and you will never come back. I grew up in a small African village, a place where people still sat outside at night to tell stories under the moonlight. The old men and women told these tales not just to entertain us, but to warn us. They believed the forest had ears, and that stories carried truths hidden inside them. Some were funny, some were wise, but there were a few we were told never to laugh at. Those ones were heavy, dangerous. The one I'm about to tell you is one of them. It's about the tortoise and the rabbit. You may think you already know that story. The race. The slow and steady beating the fast and proud. But in my village, the version we were told was not the playful one children hear. No, ours was darker. People still shiver when it is told, because even now, they say it can happen again. Rabbit was always a trickster in our village. Fast, proud, always laughing. He would run through farms, knock down yam stakes, steal cassava, and dash away before anyone could touch him. He teased old men for being slow, mocked children for stumbling, and laughed the loudest at Tortoise. "Old man," he would shout, "your shell is heavier than a rock. Even the ants crawl faster than you." The villagers laughed, but Tortoise never did. He just watched with those heavy, patient eyes. One evening, after Rabbit went too far, Tortoise finally spoke. His voice was slow, deep, like it came from inside the ground. "Rabbit," he said, "let us race." The crowd burst out laughing. Some even fell down clutching their stomachs. Rabbit bent over, slapping his knees, tears in his eyes from laughing. "Race? With you? I could sleep, wake, and still beat you." But Tortoise didn't smile. He just said, "Meet me tomorrow, at the forest path." Midnight, the laughter died. Midnight, in the forest. Everyone exchanged uneasy glances. Nobody went into the forest at that time. The trees grew too thick, the air too cold. Strange lights sometimes floated between the branches, and worse, people said the forest was alive, shifting, waiting for those who entered too boldly. But Rabbit was too proud. "I accept," he said, pounding his chest. "Tomorrow night, I will humiliate you once and for all." The next day, the whole village was buzzing. Some warned Rabbit not to go. Even his mother told him, "Child, the forest does not play games. Listen to the elders." But Rabbit only laughed. "I fear nothing." When night came, the villagers gathered at the forest edge. The moon was thin, a sliver of light barely touching the earth. The forest was too quiet. No crickets, no owls, only the heavy silence of trees watching. Rabbit stood tall, grinning, while Tortoise dragged himself forward slowly. His shell glistened strangely in the moonlight, almost wet, though there had been no rain. "Are you ready?" Rabbit shouted. Tortoise only nodded. The race began. Rabbit shot forward, his legs a blur, dust flying into the air. He laughed loudly, the sound echoing off the trees. Behind him, Tortoise moved step by step, slow, steady, unbothered. The villagers shook their heads. "This is foolish," they whispered. But inside the forest, Rabbit's laughter began to fade. The trees closed in. The path twisted in strange ways. He ran straight, but somehow he returned to the same spot. He cursed and ran harder. The trees bent, the shadows stretched, and the path grew longer, darker, colder. Then, ahead of him, Tortoise. Rabbit froze. He blinked. No, impossible. He ran faster, pushed himself, muscles burning. But every corner, every bend, Tortoise was there first. Slow, steady, always ahead. The air grew heavy. Whispers filled the leaves. Rabbit's name. Rabbit. Rabbit. He spun around, but saw no one. The whispers grew louder, now mixed with laughter, soft, broken laughter, like children laughing underwater. Shapes moved between the trees. Thin, tall figures with long arms. Faces pale and stretched, eyes missing. They reached out, brushing his fur, pulling at his ears. He screamed and ran harder. His chest burned, his breath came in gasps, but no matter how fast he ran, the forest bent around him. He stumbled, fell, and when he looked up, Tortoise was standing before him. Only, it wasn't Tortoise anymore. The shell was cracked open, glowing faintly, pulsing like something alive was inside it. Tortoise's mouth stretched into a slow smile, too wide, showing sharp, glistening teeth. His eyes were black, endless pits. "You are too fast, Rabbit," he said, voice deep and heavy. "The forest likes fast things." Rabbit's scream was swallowed by the trees. At the forest edge, the villagers waited. The night dragged on. No sound, no laughter, nothing. When dawn finally came, only Tortoise crawled out of the forest. His shell was broken in places, and something red stained his legs. He held something in his hand. A long rabbit ear. Gasps spread through the crowd. "Where is Rabbit?" they asked. Tortoise dropped the ear at their feet. "The forest caught him," he said, then walked away, leaving the ear behind. That was the last anyone saw of Rabbit. But that wasn't the end. Since that night, strange things happen in that forest. Travelers say they hear footsteps running behind them, fast, circling them in the dark. When they stop, the footsteps stop. When they run, the footsteps grow louder, chasing them. Some say they saw Tortoise ahead of them, always ahead, no matter how fast they ran. Others claim they heard laughter, the sharp, mocking laugh of a rabbit, and felt something brush past them in the dark. In my village, no one races at night anymore. Children are warned, don't run too fast in the forest. Don't mock the slow ones. Don't challenge what you don't understand, because sometimes, they say, the race is still going on. The forest is still waiting for the next proud runner. So if you ever hear your name whispered in the dark, if you ever see a tortoise slowly moving ahead of you, step by step, no matter how hard you run, turn back. Don't chase it. Don't play the game, because the tortoise always wins.